let's talk about steroids, and not in the aspect that we see everybody else talk about, where everyone's talking about the benefits, the negatives, side effects, all that. Not really caring about all that. We know all about it. Everybody has 750 million videos on it. But what I want to talk about, I guess, is from my personal perspective and feelings about steroids, what I think about it, and then also, as we've seen, Alex Eubanks made a his little video, or whatever, of him hopping on uh, TRT or testosterone, whatever he's doing. Um, and I don't know, it kind of sparked a thought in my mind. It kind of sparked a thought in my mind about the whole test or steroid epidemic we got going on right now. So, I mean, as we all know, freaking what's it called? Every young person's trying to hop on gear just because what we assume is because social media, which is like it's a low percent, it's probably like 1% of the actual population, at least in America, that actually do social media. But because social media is a way to reach a lot more people than just going to your local gym, it seems like a lot of people are taking steroids. Now, don't get me wrong, there are people in your gym that take steroids that you wouldn't even know take steroids, right? So it isn't that only people in social media or only elites in the fitness field take steroids, but a lot of people do. But that's not what I want to talk about. Let me get to the point. So, what I don't really like the thought of saying social media influencers are promoting steroids. Now, don't get me wrong. To a degree they are, but then also they're not. There are some people that literally glorify it by just saying how great and awesome it is and all this, that, and the third. So that could, in a sense, promote steroids slightly because you're saying it's great, it's good, you're getting the gains, blah 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 blah. And in the fitness world, it's it's good. Well, at least saying benefits about the steroids. In the fitness world, it's good. Obviously, if you step outside of fitness, it's not good regardless, right? Because steroid usage does have a like a downlighting on it. People look down on using steroids that isn't into fitness. So it's glorifying it or saying it's good in any form or fashion outside of the gym is not good. But in the gym, a lot of these young impressionable kids will see that and they would want to do it too. So I can see how, yes, there are some influencers that actually do it, like Toji, whatever how you pronounce it. In a sense, he does promote it because he talks about how great it is and how he got his dream physique in so short and blah 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 blah. And that's really what we I want to talk about here is the time duration, right? So I think I'm pretty fit. I'm not like the most jack guy you'll ever see in your life, but I'm like 100% natural. I mean, I take creatine, and BCAAs. Well, I stopped taking BCAA and now I take EAAs. I just started doing that yesterday, actually. But I mean, and my training history isn't the best, right? I don't have no years under my belt in the gym and stuff like that. But I look like I trained for a good bit of time. But it's simply because of genetics here, right? But even though I have a good physique, even though I have, I'm looking great, this, that, and the third, and I look at the bigger picture. I'm like, okay, well, I know my training history more than anybody because it's me the one that's training, and I have realistically probably about 6 months under my belt of actually training, and my physique looks the way that it does. So you would assume I'm content with where I'm at and what I look like. But the reality is, I'm not, right? I mean, I am, but then I'm not. And that's what I want to get into. So I don't look at social media and I don't look at top Olympians' physiques and think I want that or I want to be like that. I'm gonna be honest here. I have this level of, I don't even know what you want to say, conceitedness. I don't even know, but I think highly of myself. I think highly of my physique, and I really think with my genetics, because that plays a huge role in how you're gonna look. Is your genetics? It doesn't matter how hard you train. Doesn't matter how much gear you push. If your genetics are shit, you're gonna look like shit. If your genetics are amazing, you're gonna look amazing. Either way it goes on both sides of the spectrum, steroids or natural, it's the same. Obviously, we know steroids is an enhancement to your physique, but anyways, I'm not. Sometimes I look at myself and I look at pictures that I take, and then and I'm not satisfied. But then I will go out either in public or just go or in the gym or anything, and people look at me because I'm jacked. I'm pretty big. I'm pretty muscular. Random people at the grocery store ask me, "Hey, oh, how much you bench?" and blah 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 blah. And right now, my max is 315. I haven't tried any higher than that, partly because I have like shoulder issues and wrist pain. I have like minor fractures in my wrist, and I don't know what's going on with my shoulder, but I gotta go get it checked out because it's hindering some of my workouts. But and it's not from ego lifting or anything like that. It's when I was in the army, I ended up hurting my wrists. But I don't know when the shoulder pain started. I mean, I feel like I've had it for a while, but I don't remember exactly when it started. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is, I myself ponder the idea of hopping on some kind of gear. Now, I'm not saying steroids, but I mean maybe it could be like SARMs or something. I don't know. I think about that as well, and I do like my physique. And the reason why I think about it isn't because like I said, I don't go and look on social media to see what other people's looking like, and I say I want to look like them. I think highly of my physique and my genetics, so I don't want to look like them because I want to look better than them. I don't know how to explain that. I don't envy anybody's physique, or I don't wish or dream or hope to look like anybody, because I think I look good enough for myself, and I know if I dedicate more time into the gym, I dedicate my, you know, not really my life, but you know what I mean. I dedicate more time to it, then I would look pretty amazing. But I don't get results fast enough. And I think that's probably one of the bigger or biggest reasons why people actually hop on steroids. It's not, I don't think it's because, oh, if I look at some guy who's hopping, let's say the Trend Twins, you know what I mean? I look at them, oh man, well, I'm gonna hop on gear because the Trend Twins are on gear. Now, there are some people who do that because they just don't have their own leg to stand on, but I think most people feel the way that I've been feeling the past couple days, where I'm going to the gym, I'm working out, you know what I mean? I'm taking my supplements. I'm trying to bulk right now. But and I'm like, okay, I'm working hard, grinding hard, but I'm not building the muscle as fast as I want. And I think that's the real problem. And because we want everything now. We always want more. We always want more. And we will always want more. It's hard to actually truly be content with what you have, right? Because then there's always that lingering desire in the back of your mind to want more. You can be the number one. You can be the Mr. Olympia. You can be, let's say, Samson Dowler. Let's say you go there and you beat Samson Dowler. Now you're number one. Okay, cool. But you still have that small desire to want more. You'll look at your physique in the mirror and you'll be like, man, I want bigger delts. I want meatier triceps. I want my chest, my upper chest. I want it more full. It's just the nature of humans. So I don't think people are looking at social media people and saying, I want to take steroids because they're doing it. I think it's they look at social media people and they say, oh dang, I want to get jacked, right? I want to get buff. So then they go to the gym and realize progress is slow. Progress is slow. So then they get tempted to take something to expedite the process of muscle building. And unfortunately, that's PEDs. And I, I've been feeling like, man, I want to I want to do PEDs? Not that I want to do it. I don't know how to say this. I want to, but I don't. So it's like if you put it on a scale, right? Even scale, and you put this side is I want to do PEDs, this side is I don't. For me personally, right now, the I don't want to weighs heavier than the I want to, right? Because, like I said, I haven't been training that long. I'm only 25 years old, and I don't really want all the side effects. Realistically thinking about it, I don't want to have to pin myself every day with a syringe to inject whatever. And then also, let's say you did a pin and it kind of messes up and maybe punctures a freaking vein or hits a nerve and now you got a little bit of extra problems. I don't really want that. I don't really, and then I definitely don't want to have to keep buying it. And then after the fact, let's say I do steroids for like couple years, well, now I got to be on TRT forever. And I have to keep pinning for the rest of my life. And that's something that I don't feel like is worth it for now. That's the problem, right? Now, me saying for now isn't me saying, "Oh, I want to do it and I know I will do it." It's just to be real, you can't tell yourself right now that 5 years from now, 10 years from now, that you're going to think the exact same. Because everyone's always growing, life always changes. You see new things, you think new things, and your mind always develops in some form or fashion. So 5 years from now or 10 years from now, I could be like, hey, we're gonna do it. Let's say 5 years from now, I'm into the bodybuilding scene because that's what I want to try to do now. But let's say I'm into the whole bodybuilding scene and I'm a natural and I'm trying to do shows and I don't want to just do natural shows because to be real and I'm gonna be cocky and all that stuff right now, I think my physique with the only roughly 6 months of total training that I have done and I look the way that I do, I definitely think natural shows will be a little too easy for me. So obviously I would want to go into non-tested competitions and stuff like that, which obviously mean I'm gonna be going against people who are using. Now, is it to say I'm gonna go in there and win first place against? No, these people are enhanced. So 9 times out of 10, I can beat a few of them, guaranteed. Especially if I dedicate a lot of this training. But over time, am I gonna be okay with never getting first place in non-tested shows? You know what I mean? And and over time, will my mind start shifting more towards okay, well, I want to get first, so I'm gonna have to do what I'm gonna have to do. So that's my whole spiel on that whole steroid thing. I just because I'm that's how I think. I don't look at no one's physique and wish I can look like them. Now I know not everyone's gonna think that way because, like I said, it's heavily dependent on your genetics. If I have great genetics, I have great genetics, so means like somebody who doesn't have great genetics, they might think a little bit different. They might think, oh, well, my genetics aren't that great, so I'm gonna hop on gear. I want to look like that guy. I want to, but I don't. That's just not me though. I'm too prideful, high and mighty with my genetics that I can't do it. And then on top of that, financially, I just the economy ain't all busting right now where I'm just rolling in the dough. So affording it, definitely not. Um, I already hate purchasing the supplements that I be getting because I've already, what I mean? It'd be hurting me to swipe that card just for some supplements. So I'm already knowing it's about to be rough with the steroids. And then I don't want to get no fake stuff from uh, the guy at the gym just because he's big. So, what I mean? There's a whole lot of that goes into it. But I think that instead of just putting and shifting all the blame on social media influencers, just because they did it doesn't mean you have to do it. You know what I mean? It's always your choice at the end of the day. But I think your choice is more so heavily impacted on your muscular growth in the gym Because if let's say steroids didn't make you gain muscle faster, they just made them bigger over time, right? Like let's say there's a race limit and right and we're both going along the same line, but then after a certain point, then you start slowing down naturally, and that's when steroids starts to pass it up, right? And continues the growth, right? Let's say there's a limit to it. I don't know how else to explain it. But let's say they're both on the line. You reach your what they say genetic or natural potential genetic limit, whatever the heck, and you stop there. And then steroids will continue to go. I feel like if that were the case, not a lot of people would get on gear because it's still the same um, progression rate at least. But towards the end, maybe you'll get on it. But at that point, when you reach that peak, you 9 times out of 10, you'll probably be okay with the physique that you have, right? Because then you'll look extra jacked. But that's not the case. Steroids exponentially increases the muscle growth process, makes you stronger. There's so many benefits to doing steroids that people take those benefits and just they don't care about the negatives. But for me, the negatives outweigh the benefits. Yes, I can be stronger. Yes, I can get bigger faster. Yes, I feel like if I were to take steroids and I hop into the competitive scene, I'm gonna be amazing. And I'm not. I mean, I'm gonna just keep it 100 with y'all. Like that's just what it is. That's how I feel. That's what I think. But then again, you got to look at how's your body gonna respond? Not everybody's gonna respond the same. I definitely don't want to have my back riddled with them huge bumps. Ah, dude, I can't do that. I don't know how people. I don't know. I don't know how the people who do it and they start getting back me and still keep going. I Every once in a while I get a couple little bumps like back here. I'd be hating it. I'd be like, "There's no way I'm getting back at me." Um, so I couldn't even imagine getting all of that from taking gear. But I don't know. So I want to take all of that to say I think Alex Eubanks is the opposite of me. And the reason why I say that is because his video didn't make any sense at all. Realistically, it didn't make any sense. So my problem is Alex Eubank is gonna say he's not doing it for anybody else. He's doing it for him and all this, that, and the third. But if that's the case, why did you say, "Oh, I'm gonna show you is what you've never seen before," and blah 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 blah? What? But I thought you weren't doing it for anybody but yourself. So why do you need to prove a point? Why do you need to? Why are you? If you're not doing it for anybody else and you're doing it because of you, why on earth did you mention what everybody's saying about you? Why are you so focused on? And I think he falls under the peer pressure. That's why he's going to take steroids because he's been pressured to do it, right? He feels like he's being pressured to be bigger. He's being pressured to be stronger, and he's being pressured to all this stuff. And I mean, it's not cool at all, realistically, because if Alex Eubanks' physique is okay, in my personal opinion, and this is why I say I just go based off of myself, right? I compare myself to everybody, and I compare everybody to myself. Not in a toxic way, to where like, oh my god, let me look at my quads and see his quads. Oh, and my quad, I need to get him bit. No, like I judge everybody's physique based off of what I see in the mirror every single day, right? And so if me going, he's been training for what did he say, 8 years, 9 years, or something like that. And I look at his physique and I'm like, okay, it looks okay, right? I think okay, it looks okay. But I'm getting off track here. The point I'm making here is Alex Eubanks' story was complete bullshit to me. He's doing steroids. Well, he's hopping on TRT because number one, he's been pressured. and the pressure was skyrocketing since he started hanging out with the Trent twins, because they're obviously on gear. Obviously, they're stronger. Obviously, they're bigger. Well, they're not taller, but their muscle mass on their structure is a lot more pronounced than his. Um, and then he got people in the comment section of these people who live on social media who don't know reality or what it realistically is in the gym, and they only live on social media, so they go to his comments like, "Oh, you're not bench pressing 500 pounds. You're weak. Get stronger." But come on, let's be real. Like, how many people are actually benching 500 pounds? I'm gonna be honest. I go to the gym, and there's not even a lot of people benching 315, and they live in the gym. So I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And I think Alex Eubank has a better physique than most people. So his story is absolute bullshit to me. It's actual bullshit. He's just his mental got broken down over the set duration of time of um, the pressure that he gives himself on social media, by trying to be the most aesthetic looking lean guy. You know what I mean? So once you hop onto social media as and titling yourself as a certain way, now you're expected to uphold that title forever now. Because then once you start either slacking or not upholding that self-given title, now people are gonna start, you know, like I guess they've been doing with him, you know, shooting their shots because he, I mean, and then the everybody on hopping on gear on social media is also another problem because you're not no big jack guy who's only going to be able to live for about another 10, 15 years, which doesn't make sense to me. I mean, what about longevity? Have we thought about that? Have we thought about living past your 30s and actually having a life, having a family, raise the next generation of kids? But I guess not everybody thinks about that. So yeah, that's really all I got to say about Alex Eubank. He's doing it for you guys. He's doing it for the people in the fitness world. He wants to prove some kind of point, and he wants to, I guess, not get left in the shadows with his physique compared to all the other steroid users and stuff like that. But um, sure. I mean, it would have been better that he just stayed natty, actually worked out harder and got more strict. Um, and I mean, he pushed that low body fat onto himself. I live at about roughly 9 to 12% body fat. That's just where I live at. I don't need to bulk. I don't need to cut for that. I just live around there, right? Just depending on what I'm doing in life depends on where it fluctuates between that bracket. But that's where I live at. I don't have any issues with energy. I don't have any issues with sex drive. I don't have any issues with any of that stuff. But I guess that just also comes down to your genetics and what your body is used to and what it needs to actually fully operate. Now him forcing himself to be lean and dieting all the time. I mean, what do you think's gonna happen? What do you think is gonna happen? Do you really think that you can diet and try to stay lean? Now listen, like the reason why I brought up my rough body fat percentages because I live at a low body fat percentage. Now obviously if I want to drop to I mean lower than like 8%, 8%, I'm going to have to diet for that, obviously. But to be lean for me isn't hard. To be lean is easy for me. But for Alex Eubank, if being lean isn't just what his body is naturally accustomed to, he has to diet to that. No shit. You're gonna have brain fog. No shit. You're gonna have low sex drive. Dude, you're barely giving your body what it's requesting to stay at maintenance. Duh. So you're using that as some lame ass excuse to hop on testosterone like it's some kind of, oh my goodness, dude, get real. Eat a couple burgers. You can be straight. Sleep. You'll be good. Stop drinking a bunch of alcohol. You know what I mean? Be healthy. The fuck are you talking about? You need, I don't know. That's why I'm just saying, I just think it's bullshit. To be honest, like, yeah, it's bullshit. But anyways, that's really that's really what I wanted to touch on, was really just the, instead of blaming um fitness influencers and fitness models or whatever, blaming them for the reason why people use steroids. I think each individual person needs to take accountability for their own thoughts and their own choices. Everyone chooses to take steroids, right? And if you really take steroids so that way you can get bigger muscles faster, especially when you take them young, right? Because you didn't even have a lot of time to actually train. So you're not taking it because, oh, Togi's taking it, so I'm going to take it. Or oh, the Trent twins are taking it, so I'm going to take it. No, you're taking it because you're like, oh, snap. Well, do I train 10 years to get looking good? Or do I just take steroids and train for like freaking a couple months and start looking jacked? I'll take the steroids. And I think that's why people do it. So, and I guess we need to start holding people accountable for their own actions and not shifting the blame on another content creator. There are, like I said previously, there are content creators like, what, Togi? Is it Togi or Toji? I don't know. Like Togi. This guy be making it seem like steroids is the best thing since sliced bread. So, yeah, he be promoting that shit. He definitely do be promoting that. And then when he says, "Oh, I took steroids and I got my dream physique in 6 months." Really? You know what I mean? Really? Or if you go listen to the natural guy, he's like, "Yeah, I've been training for freaking 14 years." You know what I mean? I've been training in the gym for 14 years, and he looks good, but like he's not as massive as Toji. Of course, they're gonna be like, "Well, Toji did it 6 months. I'm gonna go do that." Everybody wants, it's like the get rich quick scheme. Everybody wants it now. So there are some people that promote it. They may not deliberately say, "Hey guys, go take steroids because they're so awesome," but the things that you say, right? And I mean, you gotta hold yourself accountable for some of that. But then again, Togi isn't. He's not the brightest crown in the box, all right? You know what I mean? He's, he's something different. Yeah. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for y'all. Stay natural. You know, fight that mental battle to stay natural. You know what I mean? Like, think about longevity. You can get strong. Look, dude. Like I said, I've been in the gym for roughly 6 months, and this wasn't a consistent 6 months straight. This was 6 months broken up, and I'm bench pressing 315. I'm looking. I'm looking jacked. You know, I got good lats. Look, I got pictures on the screen. I'm looking good for the minimal amount of training that I do. Obviously, it's genetic heavy, but you can still look good. You can still look good, okay? So stay natural for as long as you possibly can. And don't just easily give up because somebody's saying something about you. I can guarantee you, you go to the gym, you take your supplements, you eat your food, you get your rest, you know, you do the essential things to make sure your body's healthy, you're gonna grow muscles real nice. And just like when I go out in public and people ask, people staring at me because I'm looking jacked, people asking me how much do I bench, people, you know, I mean, I go on to I go onto the post Fort Carson, a military army installation, and the guards there, they'd be like, you know, "Damn, bro, you getting jacked," and you blah 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 blah. Now everybody, like, some people also like to make the steroid jokes. I mean, but it's a compliment to a degree, because, like, you know what I mean, I'm natural and I'm pretty jacked, so stay natural. Um, Now unless you have like actually low testosterone levels for, you know, and you go get checked by the doctors and stuff like that. Now, if they prescribe you TRT, you obviously take it, right? But that's a prescription. If you don't have low T, just don't take it, dude. Just diet better, eat healthier. Don't go out there and eat 3 boxes of pizzas, fucking, you know, what I mean, 20 Big Macs and shit. Actually, eat good food, and you're gonna be straight. I can promise you that you're gonna be straight. I can guarantee you. So, anyways, guys, that's it for me, guys. Hey, consider subscribing to the channel. I'm trying to figure out what kind of content to make for fitness. I can't record in the gym because I tried that and some lady complained, so they told me I can't record. So we're gonna figure something out. I'll probably just maybe. Well, it depends on the follower count and stuff like that. If you guys, if I get enough followers and stuff like that, I'll see about talking to like a manager, seeing what's going on, policy and all this other crap. See if I can get some recording popping. But that's only after we actually get subscribers, we actually get views and stuff like that. But anywho, guys, consider subscribing to the channel. It'll be awesome. I really want to dive down into this fitness industry. I'm trying to see how far a natural athlete can actually get in the competitive world. Not just doing natural shows, but I want to see if can a natural bodybuilder go into the IFBB? Can a natural bodybuilder even get a pro card? And if you can, how far can you get? Can a natural bodybuilder qualify for the Olympia? You know what I mean? So these are some things that I want to see if is possible. So if you guys would like to subscribe to the channel, that'll be freaking awesome. That'll help keep me motivated. And we're gonna see if it's possible, right? Because if I can do it, that means you can do it. If you know what I mean, and we don't even need to take steroids at that point. But just to say I made it to the Olympia as a natural, I think is pretty awesome. And then that means other people can do it. Dedication, hard work, and grinding, and we can see more natural bodybuilders in the Olympia. I'm not saying we're gonna win it, but I just want to see, can we get there? Can we get an IFBB Pro card? You know what I mean? So, yo, follow me on Instagram. Link will be in the description below. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll figure out some content to make, and stay tuned to this journey because we're gonna see how far natural can get.